Hi everybody, this is foXnoMad, and today I want to help you travel smarter by bringing you to Ortaköy in Istanbul, Turkey, which is a neighborhood that's famous for a lot of things. That mosque is one of those, but also for a street food, which if you saw my video from Berlin a couple weeks ago, it's famous for kumpir, which is this massive baked potato which you can stuff with a whole bunch of things. And if you're gonna go anywhere in Istanbul to have kumpir, Ortaköy is the neighborhood to do it. And we're here, so I want to show you that. But first, I want to show you a little bit around the neighborhood, so let's go. Ortaköy means middle village in Turkish, and it's right here on the Bosphorus coast on the European side of the city. It's not too far away from Taksim Square, and if you're staying in Sultanahmet, you can easily get to Taksim Square from there and either walk or take a bus up here. The walk from Taksim is about 45 minutes to an hour, but it's an easy walk to make. There are no real hills and there's a sidewalk pretty much for the entire walk. Alternatively, you can just take a bus and get to Ortaköy or a taxi, but it's not too difficult to get to from Taksim Square. Ortaköy is famous for a lot of things like this mosque and this Bosphorus bridge. Those views are pretty iconic for the city, but what you may not know is Ortaköy is also very famous for kumpir, which is this stuffed potato that has a ton of toppings, and it's a very popular street food in this part of Istanbul. The light is much better now. Alright, so basically if you come here in the morning, which is about now, you might be able to find like an empty park bench along the water here. But at night you probably won't find anything. But if you're gonna come here for photography, get here around 9, 10, and you'll see this is probably the best shots from basically that angle when you come in. But unless you're arriving on one of the small boats, you're probably not gonna end up coming in through this side. So you're gonna be coming up from the other side, which we're walking to now. So when you order a kumpir, there's a couple of ways to do this. If you don't speak Turkish, then chances are most of the vendors will speak English or even Arabic. In the worst case scenario, you can basically just point and choose the things you want. Or you can just sort of do this hand wavy gesture and get everything in your kumpir. Now the process almost always starts with butter and cheese being whipped into the actual potato, and then your toppings are added as you like. Of course, if you're vegetarian or vegan, you can decline the butter and the cheese. Just be sure to do that very early in the process because it's pretty much an automatic step for most kumpir. Once you get all of your toppings, then you'll be presented with a couple of choices for a sauce or a topping. Pick your sauce, the topping that you want, and mayonnaise and ketchup is usually a topping, although I didn't get it here. It's also the final sort of step for a kumpir. And you might also notice that a lot of these stalls are decorated in the colors of major Turkish soccer teams. And who knows, if you follow Turkish football and you have a preference for one of those teams, that might just be what lures you into that various kumpir stand. Now most of the vendors are offering pretty much the same thing, the same food, and where they really differentiate themselves is in their personality. The best kumpir stalls are going to have the most funny, personable, just sort of characters behind the stand that are going to make you laugh or maybe put on a show as they make your kumpir. So you want to go to the most animated, the most fun people you can find because it's just part of the experience. You've got all of these different stalls, and if you go to TripAdvisor, you'll see that every stall has a rating or whatever, but I've tried pretty much half of them, I think, if not more. They're all more or less the same. So you've also got some ice cream for dessert. You've also got some sweets. You can see over there, but it's a little bit too early for that. So it's now time for kumpir. So I'm going to show you each of the stalls has a different number, so that's how you can differentiate between them two. So number 3, number 16 for example. So if you go to TripAdvisor and you're trying to figure out the rating for one of these places, then they're all going to go by the numbers which are on the top over there. See if they're there, and they are not. So
Meşhuruz zaten abla, Mr. Kumpir dünya ünlü. Patron cheese. İlk etapta böyle yapılıyor. Seç bakalım. Mixed. Eselene seninden ayırma. Bunlardan istek üzere havuç, mayonez, lahana, yoğurt, biber, mantar, acı.
Biraz yoğurt, biraz acı.
Biraz daha güzel yoğurt. Ketchup, mayonnaise.
So once you've got your kumpir ready, you can either take it home. So if you're gonna make it into a little takeaway item, you can do that. But mostly if you want to sit here, and I'm gonna show you some of the best spots to get a seat around this area, they can make a small little package for you with some foil, and you can take this kumpir with you. Alright, so if you ask me, if you get here early enough, I think this is the best seat because you get this this view back here. I'm gonna switch so that you can see the view that I'm seeing while I eat this kumpir and talk just a little bit about it. So I kind of have a fan base right now. Basically, this is the secret view, I would say. Not really secret. We just have to get here in the morning to get this view. Otherwise, it's going to get really crowded. And if you leave your kumpir, if you leave it by itself for 5 seconds, 15 cats are going to show up. So anyway, let me show you what's in this here, what I got. So basically, this is a fully loaded one. We got cheese, butter whipped into the potato itself. We've got yogurt and some spicy sauce. You can pick the sauces at the end, so you've got an option of about 5 or 6 different sauces, from mayonnaise, ketchup. You can add all of that stuff on the end. You can get garlic, all that stuff, whatever you want. I went with the spicy and the yogurt. We've got some olives here, some hot dog there. You can make this vegan or vegetarian if you want. Let's see what else. I'm gonna have to eat my way through and then show you the rest. If you can handle spicy, it's not too bad. This is a pretty big, I'd say, street food meal. So if you're gonna eat one of these, you'll be set probably for the rest of the evening. And if you have one in the morning, like I'm having now, probably gonna be set until dinner time. So each of those different stalls, they're gonna do what they can to get your attention. They all have funny things to say, and the kumpir people always seem to have a really funny personality. And that lady was giving quite a show. I'll leave the number and which stall that is in the description below, so you can check that out. And when you're down there, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Why not? You're already down there. So I'll leave the address, basically where you can find where I got this particular one. Say hello from me. So that's gonna be down there. Well, this is pretty much tourist central, but there's still a lot of locals who come here because the view is just so amazing. I think this is one of my favorite Turkish street foods because I feel like it's relatively healthy. I mean, it's just basically potato, okay, minus all the butter and all the cheese, and you've got olives, and it's a pretty healthy, I think, sort of street food as far as street foods go. And if you're in Istanbul, you should definitely come to Ortaköy. You should definitely do this. Get a kumpir or maybe get an ice cream if you want something sweet. Come here in the morning and get all your pictures and your photos, because that's the best time to do it. Or come here in the evening once you've gotten your photos done get your kumpir, and you might be able to find a spot, but almost always in this corner it's kind of empty, so you can at least stand and watch the boats coming in and see all the nightlife, see the bridge, the Bosphorus bridge lit up in the background, and so it all adds to a really nice place to come, and it's not that difficult to get to. So if you're staying in Taksim, where a lot of tourists come, and it's not that difficult to get to Ortaköy. You can even walk here. It's probably going to be about a 45-minute walk or so from Taksim Square, about 45 minutes to an hour. So it's not that long, or you can just hop on a bus and you'll be here in about 15 minutes, assuming the traffic is on your side, which is a big if, but it's not that far away. I feel like people are filming me right now, filming myself eating by myself, which is really also kind of weird. I don't know what's weirder, me eating and talking to myself, or people filming me filming myself. I don't really know. The cats haven't been bothering me yet.
Hey man, I don't want any of your food. I mean, I'm just kind of hanging out. Like, if some of your food happened to fall out and, you know, like landed in front of me and you were cool with it, like I would totally try some, but like I'm not, no pressure. You know, I'm just here, maybe a little bit hungry, maybe you would like a little bit of a taste of kumpir, but you know, no pressure. Just don't mind me hanging out right here, just sort of doing my own cat thing.
So hit the yogurt flavor. It's got garlic in it. I think the mix of yogurt and spicy is the way to go. The mayonnaise and the other options are a little bit too sweet for me. You can also put Russian salad on this, which there is as a topping, or you can have it mixed in. You can also say if you want a smaller potato, or if you want something that's lighter, vegan or vegetarian, just be sure to let them know that you don't want any meat or any butter or cheese, and they'll make it any way you want, and you can get as many toppings as you want. There's no limit on the number of toppings, and it's a fairly good meal. It's not, as far as the amount of food you get, right now it's about 25 lira, which the conversion I'll put right there. So that's how much it is in dollars, in euros, or whatever. It's just such a nice part of the city to hang out in, and the view is always spectacular, and there's nothing really to obstruct your view from this side. So you've just got this small wall. You got all these benches set up here, and so you can always get to the water. It's not full of benches right up on the water where a lot of other spots in Istanbul are. So if you want a place to just kind of hang out and get a really nice water view, or if you want to take some really awesome photography, then you've got the mosque. It's this sort of iconic shot that you can't go wrong with, and you can always get that from this corner, and there's no really obstruction from benches or people sitting. If you want to take pictures of cute cats, you can do that as well. I think someone can see that I'm getting full.
Just still here, you know. You gonna finish that? Oh, you already finished it all? Oh. Okay. Well, thanks anyway.
So thanks everybody for watching, for coming with me to Ortaköy in Istanbul. I'm gonna leave the address to where I got this particular kumpir in the description below, as well as how you can find this part of the city. It's all gonna be in the description below. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll have new videos for you every week. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So I decided to get a tea because I was so full, and I've only had half a coffee today. So any one of these cafes that you see along the water, any of them are going to be okay for at least a tea or a coffee. So if you get here, like I said, in the morning or early lunchtime, you'll be able to get these great views, and you can get them pretty much at any of these cafes, any of the benches there, or even standing, you'll get some of the best views. If you come later at night, you're probably not going to get these first pick seats, which are right by the edge of the water at these cafes. The benches are all going to be full, so you're going to have to pretty much make do with just standing and taking a look. The view is great morning or night, but earlier in the day, easier to get a better view. The nice thing is it's just kind of people hanging out. So there's a lot of tourists, a lot of Arab tourists. I've heard a lot of Russian and a lot of Spanish. So I don't know if that's the breakdown, but there tend to be a lot of Arab tourists coming to Ortaköy that I've noticed. But there are also a lot of locals, just people hanging out, looking at the water, just sort of enjoying the day. The weather has been very nice today, so you can come here and hang out. Like I said, if you're in Taksim, it's pretty easy to get here. Pretty much if you're anywhere in Istanbul, it's not too difficult to get here, and I think you should make Ortaköy a stop on your Istanbul trip. Why am I so dark? Hi everybody. I literally just turned the camera on and the boats just showed up. And that car right there, nice.